My Gavanan Melonine, and well met indeed. I'm Arachir Galadirthan, head of the modding team behind Divide and Conquer. Welcome back to Divide and Conquer as we continue on as Dol Amroth. We are really up against it in our Dol Amroth campaign, and very likely to lose, to be honest, but we've got a few irons in the fire that we are hoping will spark a great flame of retribution against the forces of Cand and Mordor. Oh, hello, Angor, you look pretty cool. I'm the steward of Gondor, no less. Apologies for the brief hiatus over the past few days. I've just been very busy, and so I was unable to get the videos out. And I didn't have enough time to devote to the lore video that I would have liked on Monday. So rather than give you a half-baked product, I just moved it to next week. Well, I will have some more time. So apologies for the past few days. But here we are. We'll carry on. There'll be a Dol Amroth episode today and tomorrow. And then, I don't know. We'll work it out. I haven't looked that far ahead. So, turning to Dol Amroth then, we are under attack at Lynn here. A massive army has come from Cand, as ever. Karf, Bartan, and then there's all their hordes and hordes and hordes. Prince Adrian the Fearless stands behind them, ready to take them on the bridge. And Captain Nerion, with two fantastic anti-cavalry units, has come down to assist. Cand are starting to get their sea legs. They're stretching them, which is disappointing. And we are currently besieged by their pathetic excuse for a navy. But our real hope lies here with Lord Beleg, our faction heir, who has some knights of the Tirith Ayar and a few other quite good and useful units, particularly the Pinnith Gelen cavalry, who are a nice addition to our roster. And he is hoping that Annulond will rise up so that we can wash them away in furious cavalry onset and drop the Ardenaeum in the west down to only Tharagrondost, which hopefully will free up Gondor to stop the fall that Mordor is bringing about. And in the last episode, I believe it was the last one, maybe in the one before, we captured Annulond and we sold it back to Gondor so it would generate a garrison for them and we wouldn't lose our troops, which are here and have come back to hit Karf. Now, we're going to hit Karf with Adrian on this side of the bridge, and our reinforcements will come in behind him, but they're all anti-cavalry, so they should deal with what he's got. But do note that there are 6 cavalry archer units in that army. So they're unlikely to actually just charge straight at him. But remember, their main quarry will be us coming across the bridge. So let's go for it. This is very much a very important battle. Let us hope that it goes well. Now, it's something that some of you may or may not notice, and I feel like I should mention, although if I didn't mention, no one probably would notice. But last week I fiddled around with my microphone to try and avoid all of the sort of peaks that were created in my voice. But Windows kept resetting my settings, and it was driving me crazy. And I already have lost a recording. Not this one, but last week. I lost an entire recording because I didn't check that my settings had been kept the same. And so rather than having to fiddle around with the settings before every single recording for the rest of my life, I've just returned to what it was before, and I've just pushed the microphone a little bit further away from my head. But it does now mean that the thing that I liked about the previous method was that it focused the microphone in completely on my voice. So background noise was cut out even more than it already is. And that was a big selling point for me, but the amount of effort that it was requiring for every single video is a level I don't wish to give. I don't want to have to faff around every single time. I'm all about making things as easy as possible for myself. Now, the enemy's got a lot of archers. If we try and get across that bridge quickly, they will just rain fire down upon us. So I think what we want to try and do is hold off for now and try and shepherd them toward the bridge with our reinforcements, who are hopefully are going to be... Damn it, they're coming in from the far corner. Bloody miles away. Now, if they come for the bridge, then we'll gladly oblige them and we'll push our army forward, but I don't think they will cross it. No, they will not. And we've got these units up here who will also help in the attack, but they're not going to be able to do much. So you pikes, if you can, try and run down that hill. But it's over here where the real support comes. They're going to move slowly. But this unit is what's going to win the day. The Tirith Ayar Wardens. Halberdiers, not pikes, but still fantastic anti-cavalry units with armor piercing. I think they have armor piercing at least. Yes, they do. So they are very useful to our cause here today. Oh, look, they are wasting their arrows. They're wasting their arrows on the reinforcements from the city. That's fantastic. I couldn't have wished for a better target for them to shoot at. Oh, our archers are shooting as well, actually, which is interesting. And here they come. Their army's moving in. Right, the pikes, I'm happy to offer the pikes up as a sort of sacrifice. But the wardens, we need to try and get the wardens into battle. Right, if we can, we'll try and bug out the skirmishing system. Once you capture one, that tends to block them into melee, and so that's them caught. But we just don't want to cross that bridge, because if we try and cross that bridge, we are going to get the entire might of that front force. Oh yes, they charge their cavalry in. Oh yes, you absolute idiots.
Our ally lies dead. Without their general, they may lose heart and flee.
Right, so they're in. So now is the time to send everyone across the bridge. Let's pause it. I don't like to do that, but we're going to for this brief moment. So, no, we're just going to run across. Go, 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 go. Javelins move up. And Adrian, you're going across. Oh, you're far back. It's not the most ideal way of using up these units, as they will obviously take losses.
We must help his men avenge him.
But with their cavalry focused somewhere else, we're able to get across the bridge. Go, 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 go. Amphalas pikemen pulling up behind. I note from the last episode, or from a few episodes ago, that indeed Amphalas pikemen and Amrothian pikemen are actually identical in stats now. So that will be changed. Something will be done. We're not just going to have two pike units that perform the same. I don't know what will be done yet, but as I've not thought about it, but we can't have two units that are identical. It just serves no purpose. And given the... I would be of a mind, probably... I'm not really sure, actually. I'm not sure. I haven't given it any thought, and I was just about to say something spur of the moment off the top of my head, but then I cut myself because I thought, no, hang on, there's more considerations to it than that. But something will be done about that. Rest assured. In you go. Let's throw those javelins, please, guys. Anybody left on the other side? No, just our archers. Oh, they're out of arrows. Let's not get you killed for no reason. Pulling back. Right, the pikemen are taking a bit of a pounding, but the Tirathai, our wardens... Oh, I've not got you in spear mode. Come out of defense, though. It doesn't matter. Your sacrifice is rule. I am under no illusion now. I am almost firmly in the belief that this campaign is well and truly lost. There's nothing that we can do to actually win this, but as I've said in the last episode, I'm absolutely loving this campaign because Dol Amroth are far and away my favourite nation, and if we're going to go down, we're bloody well going to do it with a fight. And so that is what I intend to do. Oh, the javelin's flying overhead's good. Keep it up. Right, you guys are ready. Shield wall me in. Let's punch it. Go and just break through their line a bit. Push them back, push them back, push them back, push them back. Yeah, cause them to sort of split a bit. And also, someone commented, and again, apologies, I never really remember the names, I've got a terrible memory. But someone did comment saying that Lebanon Marines never actually seem to perform as well as their stats would have you believe they will. And I completely agree with that, actually. Stat-wise, they're a very good unit. A melee of 6, a charge of 3, and a defense of 14. If we compare that with Guardsmen, a melee of 4, charge of 3, defense of 14. So they're a better version than the Guardsmen, who, in this campaign, have routinely performed better than them. And I can't really work out for why. But speaking of charge, I'm absolutely delighted to let you know that we have cooked up a system of working or calculating charge throughout the mod, and every single charging value is going to be addressed. So we're thinking up a system of realism where we can. It's not going to be wholly realistic, but basically what I wanted to happen is to stop the charge value being entirely random. So previously, we would give a charge to a unit based on, oh, that feels about right. Like, that feels like that's where its charge would be. But instead, we want the charge to actually be a little more statistically calculated, a little more mathematical. And so we've applied a system to the entire mod, and every single unit will be run through that system. And so then all units' charge values will then correspond in some way to every other unit in the game. It's like a mass... evaluation of the charge. A mass charge rebalance is probably the word I would use. And Hummingbird and I discussed it over the weekend, and we came out with a solution that we both think will work quite nicely. And you won't really see any of the charge values drastically change, but certain anomalies are now going to be brought in line, is the main theme. So the best charging units in the game will remain heavily armoured Lance Cavalry. They are going to be the hardest hitters. And the worst charging units in the game will now be a unit that doesn't have a two-handed sword or doesn't have a shield, so any unit that uses a one-handed weapon with no secondary weapon, any unit that is particularly slow, and any unit that is particularly lightly armoured, unless with all of those things taken together. So obviously I will talk about it more in a developer diary, and I won't just leave it at that. But the charge is going to be completely rebalanced. And I mention that because I note that the Guardsmen have a charge of 3 and the Lebanon Marines have a charge of 3. And really it's just because that I saw the word charge and it reminded me of it. So that's something to look forward to in the coming days.
Only half the enemy force remains.
Our Tirathai Wardens have taken down our foe with great panache, and but they have taken significant losses. Cand are unfortunately reached the point where they are no longer made up of armies of trash, and they have now actually got troops that will do something. So even though I expect we will win this, let us hope that Adrian doesn't die, but I imagine we will win this, but we're going to take significant losses. But it's interesting to see that Candish raiders are doing so well against our Tirathai Wardens. But that is, of course, because they were shot down when they were initially attacked. They were in wide formation. They weren't able to form up into the wall that they worked so well in.
Our men have slain the enemy general.
Ah, yes. Karth has died and Batan died ages ago. Come on, get them before they run away. There we are. And our halberdiers coming in from the side. Along with the long lines of the pikes. Fantastic. So we have won, but it was bloody costly.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Like, we really, really need our expedition in the west to go well so that Gondor can just wholeheartedly throw everything at Mordor. But unfortunately, something that this campaign is teaching us is that Mordor do very well in the auto-resolve. 310 kills, Tirathai Wardens, 192 kills, Talon Knights, and 105 kills, Seaward Spearmen. That's what I mean, we've got to start getting those late game units into our roster, because we outclass Cand at every single tier. They don't have a single individual unit that is better at its job than any of ours, except for their cavalry archers. And cavalry archers, whilst a bit of a nuisance, aren't really going to win the day, because the AI doesn't really know how to use them. Apart from the odd, very lucky battle where they somehow manage to work out what they need to do. But generally speaking, cavalry archers are the worst unit for the AI to use because they don't know how to use them properly. So taking them out of the equation, we are better than Cand at everything that we do. And so it's just a case of getting the troops out so that we can actually show that. And that's what's going to take the time. Oh, Lynn here, can you get a town hall? Yes, Stuart Hall. Yes, get that built. Right, where's the next amount of forces that we've got? 152 Black Root Vale Archers. Get yourselves involved. Aha! Knights of the Tirathai, Seaward Spearmen. What was I going to do with you? I have no idea what I was going to do with you, actually. I'm at a bit of a loss. Oh, you can give me archers. Never say no to archers. Oh, but what else to do? Right, so over there we need to end the turn, and then the Ardenheim will hopefully attack us. Elsewhere, though, I don't think that army... I'm sure they was going to do something with it, but I've completely forgotten. But at the moment, I think the best bet for that... I mean, something we could always do is sail down the Harden and go and start attacking Cand, but then we're right back in the enemy's heartlands. And if we attack... We're not ready to attack Harad yet. We need to have a much stronger front line. Because Harad will break like a dam when they finally push through onto us. But what we did work out, wasn't it, is that we can take back this province. We can take Tirathoros before we hit Harad, because Cand have got the north of Horondor. And so it would be this province, Tirathrai, that unlocked the doors to Harad. So we can't take that just yet. We really don't want Harad to get these towns, because then once they get into this, it is absolutely over. Like, there really is no alternative then. I think these troops are actually going to the front, and at the moment they're just waiting there. Yes, they're waiting there for us to end the turn. Oh, we've got a new general in there. And we've got a few units in here that are retraining. We're being attacked there. But no, I think it's an end turn. Let's just double check we're not doing anything with these guys.
If only
You've already spoken to them, just because we've just sold them Fanvalon, haven't we? And then our spy, yes, is keeping watch. So here we go then. Keep your fingers crossed for the Ardenheim attack at Annulond, because we really need them to do it. And then it's going to be a interesting lesson. Can Galu actually command his cavalry in such a way as to win a pivotal battle? I don't feel confident. Now, regarding the faction overviews, obviously with the latest one, there's only about 5 left, so it doesn't matter too much. But with the latest one, Rohan, I decided not to give them a ranking anymore because my rankings are so arbitrary and they're basically off the top of my head, and I make them up as a spur of the moment, literally as I do the recording. So, I mostly haven't played many of the factions, so I can't really give a proper ranking. Alright, I've done the coding behind a lot of the factions, but that doesn't really give you an idea of how they play in practice. But someone suggested, and I love this idea, instead I will simply post a poll on every faction overview and allow you to rate how hard you think it is, and then anyone who is interested can then check up on the video a day later when it's reached its 8,000 views or whatever it tends to get in one day and see what the mass people think. I think that's the best way to do it, and that's a brilliant idea, and I'm thankful for that. So that's what I'm going to do on the faction overviews moving forward. I haven't done it on the Rohan one because it's a bit late now. You won't get enough ratings. But I will do it on the next one, which is whatever the next one is. Lothlorien, isn't it, I think? But anyway, here we are. The battle to really decide the fate of our nation. Now remember that once we take Annulond, Gondor no longer border the Ardenaim. So all we need to do is hold Annulond and we've shut down Gondor's western threat, which will allow them to head east. So Captain Tariq Magan is our main threat here. Now his biggest problem are the Ardenaim armsmen. Taking them down will be a real challenge. Territorial Guardsmen, not a trouble. We'll just get a good solid charge to take them in one. Same with the Archer Militia, Rosadan, and the Footmen, and the Territorials. It's all the Ardenaim armsmen. So here we go. Keep your fingers crossed, your toes crossed, and pray with me now, children. Pray with me to Eru himself, for there is no other but he. And say, Iluvatar, grant us your blessing. We are but your children, and we need your assistance now. Although he's almost certainly washed his hands of the world, given how often his children kill each other. But this is the lovely Gondorian city of Annulond, and I think it just looks so fantastic. Now, I'm not one of those I'm not one of those contrarians who will tell you that the later Total War games look rubbish and that Medieval looks way better. But what I will definitely say is that this city is infinitely better than anything I've seen in later Total War games. I just think these city layouts are fantastic, and the only problem with the Medieval 2 ones is how difficult it is to maneuver your forces. Taking that out of the equation, these battle maps are fantastic. Now, we've got a bit of a blessing here in that they attacked us, didn't they? And we were sieging them, so they've got to come out onto the field and attack us. So we can use that to our advantage by preparing our forces accordingly. So, let's get our cavalry nice and wide. And why didn't you move? And then we can address where we need to face. No. What am I doing? What am I doing? Pause the game. Pull all the cavalry in very, very close. That's what we want to do. Because then what you can do is catch them off guard as soon as they leave the gate. And you get a chance to just sort of overwhelm them as they're leaving. Although at the minute we're in the range of the towers. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that because we'll get shot by the towers forever and a day. So pull everyone back. The towers are being nerfed a touch in future versions. It has been Hummingbird feels that they are just a touch too strong, or at the moment they fire a little too quickly. So either if we can't slow down their fire rate, we will reduce their damage a bit. So that will be a change coming as well. Right, we've got a unit of infantry that can act quite soundly as our anvil, as we don't want to be near the walls, so we're going to go back to the original plan. So we've lost a few cavalry units, and needlessly, unfortunately. Now remember, the AI at the moment can't see the Seaward Footmen, so we get the element of surprise. But there's some Ardenaim armsmen. Now, are you going for the general, or are you going for the... Archer Militia. Right, charge and hit them. And you guys, go, wait for it. They do seem to know where I am, which is annoying. Right, charge now. The Pinnith Cavalry will get ready. You guys turn and hit those armsmen, and you turn back on those armsmen. I'm going to help myself this time, and you're going in. Right, let's go over here. The armsmen. The Royal Swan are coming in just as the knights are bearing down on their quarry. Here are the newly revamped Ardenaim armsmen. This battle model reminds me massively of the guard from Oblivion.
men have
the
slain the enemy general.
soldiers of the
Without
Imperial
him, his troops
Legion
will lose their will to
in the
fight.
generic armour that the guards always wore. The guards that used to roam the countryside in the Imperial city. Right, the enemy general has fallen. Right, we'll pull those out. You've charged away. Just as the Pinnith Gellins are about to get there, so that you move out of the way for the charge. In they come. Bish bash bosh. A side swipe. Don't know how effective it will be. Right, you guys can turn back into the fight. Right, over here. Pull away. General, pull away. There are 43 of those armsmen left, but we've just been caught by the Territorial Guardsmen. Right, coming back over here. You guys go over there. And you come away, come away, come away, come away. Yeah, they killed about 20 of them, that's not bad. Right, that Territorial Guardsman wants to be charged in the back. So what we will do is also try and keep the enemy running, just constantly running and chasing us. So you're going to go and hit those Guardsmen, and you're going to curl back and hit those Rosedown Bowmen. And likewise, you're going to come and hit those Bowmen as well, actually. And then that should take the Bowmen out in one foul swoop. The Archer Militia will keep firing, but they're only Archer Militia. And we can hit them in the next cycle with the Pinnith Gellin. But you're going to need a hand. You've got the Territorial Guardsmen there. But there's some footmen coming in. That Territorial Guardsman, I don't know where they're going, but... You're going over there. You're going over there. We're going over there! No, you're going to turn and hit that Archer Militia, actually. And then we'll bring in on the footmen. Right, we should see that Bowman go down and almost instantly, to be honest. Tariq Magan has gone. And here's the Bowman. There are 152 of them. As our cavalry slowly plunders... Plunders? That's not the word. Lumbers across the field as we're in slow motion. There's the new Ardenian banner, created by Mats. Looks fantastic. In they come from one side. Oh, throwing people in the air. So they've hit from one side, just as the spears go down on the Amrothian squires. And they hit from the other side, and with the general dead and with those losses, I think that's that unit gone when they realise the losses. But we can't focus too heavily on them, so you pull out again. The Pinnith Gellin have just hit the Archer Militia. And they've killed... Oh, that was a good hit on those. Right, pull yourselves out. You're going out. There's Rosedown Bowman. Yep, fight on until they're dead. You guys can finish those off, no trouble. So, Pinnith Gellin. You're coming out. The Archer Militia's down to 65. Let's take out the Archer Militia with our general, and let's get you guys into the footmen. The Seaward footmen are holding well. They're absolutely pivotal to today's victory, which we will win. I mean, dropping it down to ×5 has helped massively with cavalry command. Which is, I feel like, something I should show off on the channel. The aim of the channel, as I say always, is to show you all the features of DAC. And one of those features, if you're not feeling confident with cavalry, like me, is to slow the game down. And to do it, you just hold down the shift key, and then you can change this in increments of 0.1. And it does the job very nicely. Right, Rosedown Footman. That was a solid hit from the Pinnith Gellins. Just for reference, Pinnith Gellin Cavalry have a 9 attack and a 9 charge with a 15 defense, although this one does have 1 experience, although I don't think that affects the attack just yet. And Amrothian Squires have 7, 6, 14, so Pinnith Gellin are better than our Squires, which is how it should be. So with our discussion earlier about what's going to happen with the Amphalas Pikemen, almost certainly the Amphalas will be boosted so that they're better than the Amrothian Pikemen. Which will be an indirect buff to Gondor, which is one of those buffs that they can always do with. Stronger units for Gondor are always welcome. Right, that Bowman unit is more than taken care of, so let's get the Squires in as well, because we need to cycle these Rosedown now. Ah, the Archer Militia is routing. And the Knights of the Chirithar come and hit those Ardenian Armsmen. And Pinnith Gellin hit those Ardenian Armsmen. You guys come over here. They're chasing them down. I think we could possibly... We're getting to the point where we might be able to speed this up soon. Right, no, change of plan. You go that one, you go that one. So Pinnith Gellin are going to move in on the footmen, and Squires are going to move in on the Ardenian, on the armsmen. The spears are out. Lance is down. Bish, bash, bosh. Absolutely engulfed. Like a ship caught in the maelstrom of the Great North Sea. Down they go. The footmen will have done a bit better though, because we just charged head on into a spear unit with cavalry. Right, let's get them out. There's only 15 armsmen left, but we're going to get caught by the guardsmen, so let's pull out. Now, our Seaward are starting to take a hit, and we need to keep them alive, so someone's going to have to go and start supporting them now. That's our next target. So, Pynethgellin, come down over here, and you can finish off these armsmen. There's 68 of them, blimey. Move away. Right, General, you take the footman, because you're the kind of unit that can withstand a forward spear charge. You guys get yourselves over there. The Squire's going over there. And if you can come over here. I think we can go to ×1 speed now. We're at that point. Right, and then you turn and hit those. And that'll finish them off. Come and hit those Ardenheim armsmen. There are 97 footmen, but they turned sideways at the perfect moment. And they've been obliterated by our general. Absolutely smacked them to the high heavens. The territorial guardsmen are dead. The other guardsmen are going to fight on, but we shall deal with those. The armsmen are a touch shaken as they've just been hit in the back. The cavalry's pulling away, and those territorial guardsmen are wavering.
The fortune of battle goes our way.
They're wavering.
Pray it remains as such.
They don't like being charged in the rear by Amrothian cavalry. This is what you get, traitorous scum. Let us not forget that these are the very worst units in the Ardenheim roster, for they are not just the sons and daughters of the Ardenheim invasion. They are the sons and daughters of Gondor turned traitor by their new-come lords. And the lords have only been there for a few years, and they have already convinced this part of the population to fight for them, which to my mind gives an indication of underlying disloyalty that must be purged with great malice. Yes, down they all go. Right, that is it, one and done then.
The enemy army path.
130 lost, 1,030.
All who remember this
yes.
day, remember it as the day of our most glorious victory.
This is just an absolutely fantastic example of why Cavalry Medieval 2 is overpowered. The unit that got the most kills are the Royal Swan Guard, a unit that started this battle with 22 men. They killed 228. That is 10 men per man from that battalion. Knights of the Tirathayar Squires and Pynethgellin all had around 60 men on average. I think it was 50 to 60. And not one of them eclipsed that kill. That's ridiculous. But even the Seaward Footmen put in a real showing today. Everyone clubbed together because they know how much that battle means. Now, of course, you've seen the garrison that is at Tharagrondost. I am under no illusion that we will not be able to achieve a victory like that again. The Ardenheim are, unfortunately, a good nation, and we're going to need much more strength. But at the moment, what we need to do is just keep harassing them. If we can find some way to attack them in the field, attack them and then maybe run away. It doesn't matter if they reclaim Annulond. We just need to whittle their troops down. That's the aim. Let's sack it to get some money as well. That'll help. Oh, a Merchant's Guild. In Annulond, of all places. Yeah, go on then. Oh, Dol Amroth's been cleansed. Oh, who took Dol Amroth down? Oh, Anduin, you beautiful buggers. Now, oh yes, isn't this campaign entirely going to flip on... At the moment, Rune are dying, aren't they? And we're desperately hoping someone will attack Mordor from behind. I don't think anyone will, but the hope is there nevertheless. Our army is retraining quite nicely in Lynn here, which after the Stewards Hall can give us barracks. Linhir and Methrast are not going to swap, so that's not going to be made a castle, but Methrast might be made a town to give Dol Amroth a bit more money, and Itheland has already been given to Dol Amroth at the turn 1, so that change has already been applied. But the other thing that I was thinking of maybe giving Dol Amroth a few, or given this, just giving Dol Amroth the cities and the AI more pre-built buildings. That was something I was thinking of doing. And I think that might help their economy just enough to really change it. Admiral Lane, go on, have a go. Gondor's involved. Yes, send them packing. The seas belong to the Swan, you fools. We'll make you pay for every inch you try to take. Oh, wow, they can get to Annulond in a turn.
Come and get me.
Oh, but you don't have a general, and your army has nothing that we are to fear. Oh, halberdiers, take that back. 2 units of halberdiers. But the marines, the archers, and particularly the warriors. Warriors are a deadly unit against infantry, and they're an absolutely downright terrible unit if you charge into them with cavalry. So we can easily deal with them. And Annulond is a money maker and a half. 1,810 we're getting from here. And it's got quite a high Gondorian culture, actually. We'd be able to maintain it for some time. And it's got a Mason's Guildhouse. Oh, what a beautiful settlement this is. Have you built anything I can't use? Yes, Barracks of True Sons. 1,500 in the bank. Thank you very much. Now, I can't, unfortunately, recruit or... I don't really want to build anything here just yet, because it's a waste of money. So instead, we want to be turning this money we've just found back to our heartland. Now, if we built those roads, you currently have trade of 2022 or 1814. That goes up by 300 gold coins. That's fantastic. The road's not bad. Oh, we could get the Baron Stable Zone, start getting Knights of the Silver... But then we can't afford Knights of the Silver Swan, so why try and get them out? No, I think we should queue up some units and keep building an army. Particularly cavalry. And we can retrain those. We could get a leather worker. Yeah, we could start getting armor improvements here. That's a good idea. So you give me a leather worker. Methrust. You can't really give me anything, but troops are troops. So give me what you can. Yeah, you can't really give me anything. You're a bit rubbish, actually, aren't you? You've got a blacksmith available, but hang on. What about... Oh, Theland and Lynn here are building. Gobel Tolfalas. Let's start making you into the castle you were always meant to be, because you're the highest tier already. Oh, hang on. We can build the Master Masons. Or that will give us militia pipe. Oh, that will give us pikemen. No, we're going for the barracks. Going for the barracks. We want those ships back though, so that we can retrain them. Right, this army is to move out. Our campaign from here on out is going to be one fort on land, basically. I might, once we start properly fighting against Harad, I might consider sailing some troops out. But primarily, we're going to be just walking to our destination from here on out. Are you training something? Yeah, you got loads of units coming, so let's get them in that fort. We make 7,000. Oh, Annulond is such a town. Ah, speaking of needing troops over here, that's what we should do. Yes, because I don't think Belegar... Is he called Belegar? Just Beleg, sorry. Beleg means great or mighty, by the way, if you're interested. He's not going to be able to hold with all that. But with some of the troops that we've just trained here and the forces we've got going to Lynn here, I think we can probably send some troops out. But we do need to help Gondor. That's got to be on our mind at all times.
I'm gonna stick you.
We'll need to do something about that. We can't. Well, the ships aren't even here yet anyway. But I'm not going to be sending them west. No way. But sending more cavalry will help. Can you retrain? They're retraining on the next turn. Right. So in the next turn we'll have a better understanding. I'm going to likely take those 2 cavalry units and probably the Nimrodel Mariners, actually, because some archers would help. But 2 more cavalry units will be a big boost. Fildir, do I need you in... Yeah, you're going to go with Adrian. At the moment, you're going to stay in Dol Amroth. So you guys can go to the front. That's not a problem. Oh, that fort's got too much in it now. Oh, they've all got too much in them. You can go, actually, west as well. Send another cavalry unit west, yeah. If you can go to that other fort, then please do. You might as well. You're costing us money anyway. And we make plenty of money, that's not a problem. So let's get you as far forward as we can. You've got more troops coming. And then you can build something, actually, because everywhere else is building. So if you give us... Oh, yes, we're on a bridge. No. Right, hello. Now, probably no time has passed for you, apart from a little bit of a cut to black. But the game's just crashed about 5 times in a row with me just moving the camera around this area. And I do not know what is causing it. We're so close to the end of this episode that I'm not going to spend hours doing it now. We'll end this episode in a moment, and then I will try and look into it. But I just don't know what the problem is. My gut instinct is that it's something to do with I've been playing the game for 30 minutes, and the game obviously has a RAM limit, and perhaps this is just a particularly intense area. And obviously the RAM usage of the game does store up over time. To my knowledge, anyway, this is an area I really know nothing about. This is just from snippets of things that I think I can remember. So I think that's the cause. Is basically I've been playing for such a long time, and that it's then just running out of juice, basically, to show this area properly. But in any event, I'll look into that off screen and see if I can find some sort of reason as to why it's doing that. Oh, yes, please. Welcome to the family. And a master merchant's in Annulond. Ah, perfect. So what I was saying is we're going to want catapults and ballisters to protect that bridge. Or better yet, when we attack over that bridge, like we're about to do in a minute, or rather in the next episode, we can attack them on the other side of the bridge. But Methrast is the best place to build that, because Lynn here is currently building the Steward's Hall, so we get more upkeep and more recruitment, and then it's going to give us a barracks, so the catapults are a little lower down. Pikes, in my opinion, are more useful at the moment in a place like that, whereas we can send the catapults in from down here. Our troops are moving through, so we've got an almost full army coming through to support Adrian. We're still making 4,000 a turn. Our fleet is now almost ready. Oh, we can attack and kill him, send him on his way. And then, so our army that we're going to send down can now go. So we've got those 3 cavalry units there, and we've just taken Malak on, so let's take him with us. And I'll tell you what, take another unit of the footmen with you. So you guys head down, and as ever, always disembark when you get out for the first time. Now we're going to need to deal with Captain Sakalur next time, but he is their whole army. Now I would be really tempted to just sort of pull the army out and meet up with Malak, and then those two together will be able to decimate him, but we'll wait and see on that front. Angbor is building an army and coming through. Tarnost has an army, but you'll note Fanvalond has just fallen to Mordor. I'm so desperate not to move the camera over. I'm going to save it again. I really don't want to get over there. But we've been attacked by Shariar. He's got a lot of cavalry, which will help us massively on that bridge battle. And our army has replenished. We've got the pikes at full, the full. We've got another archer unit and an actual good archer unit, the Blackroot Vale archers, who are better than our Amrothian ones. So we're starting to get some real bonuses there. The Gondor militia are full, our archers are full, and the marines and the coastal wardens. But we don't have to attack straight away, because this army will assist us, and they can come and they can actually attack him, and then we'll get them involved. Yeah, so he can attack on the next turn. You guys can't make it just yet, but move to that fort. Now we only make 1,000 with that army, with both of those 2 armies out, but we're making good money for the amount of troops we've got out in the field. And we're only earning more and more. Now you two move to that fort. Keeping everyone as free is paramount, but also keeping everyone out and in the battle is key. What have you got? You've got room for one more. Definitely the Seaward Footmen. No, what you could do with here is if you could train a unit of crappy Gondor militia to act as your garrison unit. And so we'll empty the garrison for now. Yeah, we still make money. That's good. That's good. But that is going to be where I'm going to end this episode tentatively, as we don't want to move the camera around. So Mordor have taken Fanvalon, but we're now moving in with an army that should be able to take it back. It looks like they've also taken Brethil as well. Yes, they have. So all of Lebanon has now fallen to Mordor, so we've got to take both of those back and give them back. We've got to keep Gondor alive, and we're doing that very well over here. If we can keep Annulond and Thara-Grondos, this will be a real moneymaker for us that was totally safe, unless Isengard rear their heads. But that is all for the next time. I'm absolutely loving this campaign, and I hope you are as well. So until we speak again, dear friends, Navair Naden Benamad Melonin, and farewell.